Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome yet again to another episode of Women in Business. This is Doreen Kemcha, Smart 24 TV, and same episode, different episodes, but same program, Women in Business. We're very keen on continuous learning. We're very keen on mentorship. We're also very keen on the linkages to resources. Today we have an amazing woman. We always bring amazing women, but this lady has been carrying out women empowerment for years. She is amazing and she is cemented within her niche. She's going to share with us a couple of things. Welcome, Dr. Jolie Kavirizi.
Thank you.
Delighted to have you on this episode. For those who don't know her, she's got a PhD in animal science. She's also the executive director for Chakwa Farm. Doctor, this beautiful space that you have is within town. Within town. Amazing things that you are doing here. How did you even start? Because this goes way back.
Yeah, of course, this goes way back. Yes. First of all, I started because there is a saying, walk the talk. If you want to change the community, first to do what you want them to do.
Yes.
Because the first time I went to Masaka, that was the time when I was doing my PhD work. I had a group of women, and these are women who wanted to help to improve their production, their cattle production. Unfortunately or fortunately, one woman was gossiping somewhere and said, we are tired of these researchers. Now yesterday we had somebody on coffee. This one is now talking about cattle. Most likely she doesn't even own a cow.
Yes.
That was a very big challenge. But fortunately, I already had cows here. So I didn't make any comment. The second meeting, I said I sacrificed my per diem. I said, I want 3 people. When I go back to Kampala, I want 3 people. We go together and you see exactly what I want you to do. When they came, they were amazed. So from there, from that day, they became ambassadors. Yeah. They became leaders. They became project leaders in their villages. And I found it. If we really have to change women, fellow women, first of all, we have to change our words. The way we look at things. And also, the way we look at fellow women. Because what has happened, what I've learned, what I've noticed is some of these, I'm sorry to say, there are women who think they are above everybody.
Higher than others.
But if you want, I worked with the women in 127 districts. And I've even slept in their houses, like women in Gulu. Of course, when you go to, like a scientist, you go with money to sleep in
the hotels.
But these people were saying, come and sleep, come. And they would converse the same. But then, by sleeping with them, sharing their food, you become part of their family. Yes. So it becomes very, very easy to advise them, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And for me, I'm happy. Even if I die today, I've really changed the lives of so many people.
Yes.
And I've also made friends.
True.
It's not easy to work with women, not only women, because I've also worked with youth. But fortunately, I've been supported by a number of donors because, of course, working with women, you can't use your own resources. You need to have donors like the World Bank, the NIDA, International Potato Center, Food and Agriculture, National Agriculture Research Organizations, and the others. They have really supported me to support the women. Yeah. And I'm happy, and especially on the side of cattle keeping. These women are now making money out of it, and now they become ambassadors. They are training other farmers to how to improve production through better nutrition, through better feeds. But I've also learned a lot from them. It's not a one way. It's
not a one-way ticket.
Yeah, when you go to women, don't pretend you know everything. and accept what they know.
There's always something you can learn.
There is not very little, but many. Because one day, anyway, this is a very funny story.
Yes.
These are women I work. When I graduated, these people didn't know I was doing my PhD, and I was there for the first part of the project was my PhD, so I was there for three years doing that. So when I defended and I graduated, I didn't have any part in Kampala. I had to go back to those women with my gown and what everything. So we had the whole day celebrating, and everybody took a picture of this PhD gown. You know, from that day, those women became part of my family.
Yeah.
Recently,
it has been a journey.
It has been a long journey, and it was really a long journey. It was not easy, by the way. The beginning was not easy, but of course, you know the way you handle people. Some of these people, because the work was hectic, they had to take measurements of how much feed they were offering the animal, quantity of milk, and the other data.
Farming is practical. It's not something you can delegate. It's not something. It is practical.
That's why you see me. You found me inside, but after about an hour, you will find me seated there. We have cows here. I
know you have a little bit of almost everything. It's amazing that all this can be packed in such a space.
Yeah, here we are trying. We are not trying, but we are proving to people that even with a little space, I have tenants, and we always meet here at least once a month, and I encourage them to produce their own vegetables
from their homes,
from their verandas, so that they can save money. My children are not here, but they are all farmers wherever they are, and
it's working so far.
It is working so far.
But let me ask, because an article was written by Boyd way back in 1989, and she actually pondered on whether women empowerment is real or it's symbolic. And you know, like I had even mentioned it to you a little bit earlier, and I said when I was in parts of northern Uganda, it comes as a shock. Because when you stay many months, because I was there for a couple of years, and you get to see the day from morning until evening, my fellow sisters, my fellow mothers up in parts of the north, not all, yes? And it's a representation, I think, of other areas in Uganda. But I looked at these women struggling with their children, and I asked myself, are we really emancipated? Are we really empowered? What is happening? Is emancipation and all this, let us stick to empowerment. Is it happening in phases? Is it representative? Is it in stages? What are you seeing? Because I know you have empowered so many women. There are those that come to you. There are those you go to. What is happening, really?
I think, anyway, there are so many questions and so many answers, but empowerment is real depending on which direction you take.
Yes.
And how you behave when you go to those women. First of all, you have to make them your friends. Yeah. That is very important. Don't think because you have a PhD,
you are higher than them.
You are higher than them. That is a very big mistake, which many people do. And also, I talked about the dressing. Don't go in, when you are going to this village, women, don't go wearing high-heeled shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, but try to share whatever they are eating with them. Don't go with packed food. But empowerment is very, very... let me take an example of Masaka. Because I worked in Masaka for a long time.
Yes.
After my PhD, of course, there were so many projects which we implemented with farmers in Masaka. Then, of course, when I retired, I told them, you people, I'm tired. I also want to stay at home. But what shocked me one time is one of the farmers called me and said, Madam, we want to come and visit you.
Yes.
I said, now coming to visit me all the way from Masaka. Yes. I almost asked them, is there a problem? They said, no, there's no problem. We just want to come and visit you.
Yes.
So we prepared lunch for them, and we sat here. It was a group of 30 farmers. They came. I didn't see it. The vehicle was parked outside.
Yes.
So we ate, we joked, and we laughed, and there was some bit of dancing.
Yes.
Then somewhere they said, oh, you people, Madam, allow us to go and stretch our legs.
Oh.
They went outside.
Yes.
When they came in fact, I shed tears. You know, this where you go for introduction and then
the baskets and the gifts and
yes,
everything.
the baskets and gifts.
Yes.
They said, you have changed our lives. We have become role models in the villages. We are hosting people from within and outside Uganda.
Yes.
So we had to come and thank you. Thank you for what you have done. I said, no, but that was part of the work I was supposed to do. No, they said, you know. When I lost my mother, those people, the whole group came. You can imagine how they're from Masaka. So,
social capital.
Social capital. Social capital is very, very important. And that's what many people think about money. I like money. But I prefer, and I always prefer to help a person with no conditions attached. And especially when I'm helping that person using my own money. With no conditions attached. Many people expect, I mean, when they want service from you, first of all, they say, how much are you going to pay me? Yeah, I've found as I age, that money is not everything in life. It's the friends who will help you. But
even as you're talking about these women, by the time a woman, because definitely the fuel wasn't free.
It was. They contributed.
They contributed. Yes.
They hired. In fact,
they hired the car. They got the fuel. They made effort to come.
Effort, yes.
And now it got me thinking as you were just speaking, because I thought to myself, maybe is there a particular approach, an approach to women empowerment that looks at sisterhood, that togetherness, that unity. Is that a more sustainable approach than the other that says, you know what, come here, sit here, this is a penny, what, pay money,
no.
It doesn't matter, we're going to... It seems as if the other one is more sustainable.
The other one,
because
make them your friends.
Yeah.
I worked in Karamoja, of all places. I got this accident, which almost sent me to my ancestors. And I was seated there then.
Sorry.
You know, somehow I don't know how those Karamojans knew that I had been involved in a very bad accident. So they contributed money. They sent somebody who boarded an evening bus. Then, I was inside there, and I don't even know, somebody directed that because they didn't. They did tell me there was somebody coming. Yeah. So I was inside there, and then a girl said, there's a man with a cock and a stool, dressed in a funny way. They did, this traditional. Yes. So when I got outside, I said, my friend, I was so happy. And this is a man who had come all the way from Karamoja to come and see me on behalf of his colleagues, of others. He said, no, we sat. In fact, we cried. Somebody said, you had died. He said, we cried. He said, no, I'm still alive. Yes. So, it's the way you approach those women. Yeah. We are not going to empower women as long as we remain so arrogant. That is, yes. These women, they need you may not have money, but the approach you use, of course, you have to study. First of all, you have to study their challenges and their behavior. You don't just go to a group and say, I'm going to empower this group. You have, first of all, study, get information about the group, their challenges, their weaknesses, and their strengths. Don't start talking about things they don't want. Okay. Yes. Don't start talking about things they don't want.
Depending on the group.
Depending on the group. So you have to study because even before I went to Guru, I had to study that group. That group, I knew the group, of course, had challenges, the konyi, the what. So we used to eat together. We planted the field, the pastures together in the field. Yes, I used to also to dig, and they would dig. So that's the only way. When they see you are part of them. Yes. When they see you can do what they can do. You are a fellow woman. Yes, you are a fellow woman. Not this business of sitting there, you are in high-heeled shoes.
And you've come with your small camp chair.
Yes, camp chair and what?
And an umbrella.
That one is not. Those good women, when you go there now, they keep calling me, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? I said, no, we are coming back. Yes. Sorority. So it's the approach. I think the women, as women, fellow women, and especially the so-called land women. Yes. Unless we change the way we approach these women. Yes. And the women need us.
They do so much.
They need us.
So much.
They need a lot of help from us. But we are here, they are up there, and they are there, down there. Yes.
We are looking at evidence-based practice, yes, in women empowerment. And Dr. Jolie, you've been doing this for quite a while. And these
Since
are
75.
1975. And these are tips that you have seen work for you. You have maybe made a couple of mistakes because this has been a journey
of course.
for you. And it's very good to share. It's very good to share because not one size fits all. You must know, one, the societal dynamics. What is the society I'm getting into? And also, even I, who has all this knowledge and who has studied, yes, this particular thing that I'm going to equip them with, this knowledge that I'm going to equip them, I have to be like them. I have to get into what their daily way of living. I have to get to know them so that I can better understand their challenges. Yes?
That is very important.
Yes.
That's very, very important. In fact, there are times when of course, when you go for field work as a government official, you are paid the allowances. But there are many times when I had to sacrifice my own allowance.
True.
Give the money to somebody, maybe a lady, you find that lady has to weed the field, but she has challenges. Yes. So you just surrender your money to her. But at the end of the day, you are paid somehow. I always believe
per diem and all that.
Yes, I always believe in God. God pays you, pays you back. Yes, gives you back. Yes. So I don't know.
We have in projects we have seen a number of those ones that come to actually carry out women empowerment in different places. Sometimes they come in with the attitude of, this is just another statistic. Yes? This is just another statistic. Get the right pictures. Yes, document what has happened and leave. And then there's another group, yes, that wants to help. They want to help, but they are limited by maybe the time. They are limited by the finances. And then they say, you know what, I can't involve myself entirely because it is not sustainable. But we always say also, the little that you do will help one. Do it one person at a time, and it will come back to you. Let's talk about the different systems. This being a patriarchal society, those particular women that have shared, that have come to you for women that you have been empowering, the groups up country, especially before we even talk about the urban farmers, the ones up in the villages, in the different villages, they normally are bracketed in by so much, by the male, by the patriarchal. And even sometimes the men come in and say, you're not going to do this because Tetwagala, you get our women big-headed and all that. How do you handle such? How do you handle?
Me, all the groups I've worked with,
yes,
I've encouraged the men to participate.
Male engagement.
Yes, male. If you can't participate, but make sure you are aware your wife is attending the meeting.
Yes.
Make sure the wife, when you go back, tell the husband what the whole meeting was all about. Make sure you share the resources. Yeah. That is very important. We had to work with of course, unfortunately, some majority of the women I worked with were either widows or single parents. But those who are married, they had to work with the husbands. And that's one of the reasons why we succeeded in some of these projects. Because if you leave out the men, and then you work with the women alone, there's a tendency for some of these also women to become big-headed. They go back and they become big-headed because of course we had to pay. They
feel ownership.
Yes,
this is mine.
Because we had to pay them some money to buy the inputs and what. The man, of course, those ones who were married. The men had, in fact, before any project, we had to sign an agreement. The agreement, because this was donor-funded project, that I accept to participate in this project, that my family also participate. They provide labor. The man and the woman, they all had to sign the agreement.
Oh, yes.
And that was very important. Yes. And then almost every quarter, I expected a report, a brief report from the family, and that report had to be signed by both the man and the woman. Yes, that's why maybe a place like Masaka you find the men were really very active. Some of the men were even more active than the women.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, both the whole family benefited. The whole family.
We actually had one guest come in and tell us that there are certain instances in her line of work where she's heard of and also observed a couple of other women empowerment programs in which they categorically looked at the woman, did not really think of male engagement. Actually, their main approach was to tell the women, this is exclusively for you. Do not even tell the men that you are here.
No, that is very wrong. That is very wrong. You end up causing problems in the family.
Yes.
That is very wrong. In fact, what happened, we also included the children.
Yes.
The children, because of course today the parents are there, tomorrow the parents might be gone. So these children, sustainability. Yeah, and those children, they are now mature. Of course, they are now mature people, and most of them are the ones taking over, managing the businesses.
Yes. What particular? I want to find out what differences have you seen? We are so similar, and yet because of where we are, rural, urban women, we also have very many differences. Many differences, maybe same challenge, but different environment. Now, this is a demonstration farm, an urban demonstration farm, I believe.
Yes.
There are women that come here.
And both, by the way,
it's women and men.
Here I host various categories, politicians, urban, people who come from even as far as maybe Kiruhura, Masindi. But I'm not going to say the women from of course the women from urban areas are quite different from the other. I don't want to go into details.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, they are all looking for information.
True.
They are all looking for information. So when they come here, the first thing I tell them, first of all and foremost, here there's no politics.
Yeah.
Here we are now all equal. Whether you come from Kololo or come from Seguku, we are all equal.
Yeah.
We are looking for information. And I also need information from you.
Yes.
Information. Don't think I know it all. So I also be grateful if you can also teach me what you do.
Yes.
Then I also demonstrate to you what I do.
Yes.
Yes.
We weren't actually talking about the fact that maybe the urban women are this and the rural women are this. We're not bringing up comparisons, but we're also there's been one or two local area, councillors that have been saying that most urban women, some urban women basically want things to be given to them. And this was in regards to some of the other women empowerment programs that have passed through some of these offices. And they come in and say, you know what, you want the chicken that are being given to you, but you also want this. You're not putting in extra effort on your side as urban women. You want everything to find you on your veranda. You're not taking the initiative to actually empower yourself.
No, by the way, I don't know whether people just fear me, but whether urban, what I've noted, the urban women are always willing to contribute towards whatever
drive.
Yes, whatever can help them to improve on what they are doing. They don't expect so much from, of course the only advice I give them is to work as a team, register your group. There's always money from donors, and the donors are not willing to help individuals.
Yes.
Having worked with many donors for the last so many years, and implemented so many projects, 127 districts in Uganda and 5 countries, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, and Rwanda. I implemented a number of projects. Of course, the different different countries behave differently.
Yes.
Uganda is quite different from the other countries. Those farmers there, women or men, are quite different from the way they handle.
How different are they? In a good way, in a bad way?
Not in a bad way, but I'm not going to some of the things I don't want
We are going to take a quick break and we're going to talk about it within the next part.
Oh, God.
Let's take a short break and we'll be right back after this message.
Smart